is Christine, and I am with you once again, live from Gloucester, from a rather sunny day, finally. It won't last too long, though, I'm sure. It's England. So, guys, welcome back to our class, and today we've got a different type of question, similar a bit to yesterday in the sense of we're talking about a form of media. So today we are talking about a news source. So which source of news do you trust the most and why? So I'd like to hear your opinions and your reasons, and I'd like to hear as well which sources of news, because I'm sure there are other sources of news that I don't usually use, obviously because I'm from a different place. So it's very interesting to see what other sources there are. And yeah, I'm looking forward to it all. So let's start from Arush. Arush, can you please introduce yourself and tell us a bit about your day?
My name is Arush Kumar. I study in class 4F. My school name is Delhi Public School, Mega City, Kolkata, and my favorite hobbies are painting, gardening, and make some videos of my channel.
Okay, very good. And what videos have you made on your channel lately?
Right now I have created 2 videos. Like one, it is of Classic 350, which is of Royal Enfield, and one Swift, which is by Maruti Suzuki.
Interesting.
But
very good.
Now I have not uploaded. It is going on. The editing is going on. I will upload it tomorrow or day after tomorrow. And
Okay.
to transfer also.
I see. All right. So you've got a very big task to do.
Yes, ma'am. I have created a new channel named as Car World.
Okay, very good, very good. I'm looking forward to hearing more about it.
Right now, ma'am, I need to upload those 2 videos because right now, one like the Swift video, which right now I am editing. Like yesterday I edited, but I have not uploaded. I will upload tomorrow or day after tomorrow. Then after that, right now the Classic 350 video will be. I need to transfer from my phone to the computer. I have not did that. The Classic 351 I have, but the half process of Swift video is done.
Okay, very good, excellent. So, Arush, if we move on to today's class, can you tell me a bit about which source of news do you trust the most and why?
Some best news sources are television, newspaper, and magazines.
And which one do you trust the most, and what's the reason?
Newspaper and television, because they tell the truth news. Like if you go in magazines, so they will just show you old news which you have already passed it. So and like you will, if you will watch some television, like on TV news, so like lots of channels are there of news. If you go in the guidelines over there, you can get lots of news channels, thousands of news channels. And over there, and in news channels, every day a new news will be getting uploaded on the channel. Like some of the channels show fake news. Some of the, not all of them. Some of the like 10 or 15 channels show fake news.
Okay.
Like
so
my favorite television channel is India TV and Aaj Tak. There is a channel Aaj Tak name and one more India TV. Most of them I watch India TV only because India TV tells the recent newses.
Okay, so what I'd like to know now is which of the channels, which news source do you trust the most and why?
News source. I trust television and newspapers because they don't tell lies. They don't.
Yes, but which of the newspapers? Which of the news channels?
The Times of India English newspapers. Like every day at home it comes. It delivers in the afternoon or in the morning, in the morning 7 or 8 o'clock. Then whenever it comes, so sometimes I read the newspaper.
Okay.
Half of them I read. Then if my class time is there, so I just sleep it.
Okay. Very good. Okay. Thank you very much, Arish, for sharing with us what you trust and reasons why.
Thank you, ma'am.
You're welcome. We will now move on to Navya. Hi, Navya.
Good evening, ma'am.
Good evening. So, Navya, can you please introduce yourself and tell us a bit about your day?
Good evening, everyone. My name is Navya Agarwal. I study in class 7 in Calcutta, and my day, till the first half of my day was not good because all our schedules for the teachers were saying that we have to do orals, so we had to prepare a lot. But after my classes ended, I talked to my friend and I felt really good. So I'm feeling very good right now. I'm feeling very relieved.
Good, very good. And can you tell us which of the news sources do you trust and why?
I don't really watch that much news, but I watch a news called DD News. It always I trust it and I see it a lot because it always shows the real incident and with sensible reasons. Sometimes reporters just say so much in hurry and they sometimes have to shoot it on roads and everything when the incident happened, but they say in such a hurry that we can't even notice. But in DD News, they always show the real thing and they always make a sensible reason for it too. That's why.
Okay. Okay, very good, very good. And is there a specific type of channel or newspaper that you listen or radio station that you listen to?
Ma'am, can you please repeat it?
What is the name of the radio channel or the news
Ma'am,
the news form that you listen to?
yes, ma'am, the channel is only DD News. Like in TV, if we search in news, the news will come DD News. The whole channel is on that. And if I say in newspaper, then I will say Calcutta Times, because over there so many headlines are there with politicians, sports, Bollywood, and whatever new things are coming out of that, schools will reopen or whatever the curfew time is. So that will, and radio, I don't listen to radio that much, so I don't know about the radio.
Okay. All right. Thank you very much, Navya.
Thank you, ma'am.
You're welcome. Next, we have Ambika Rai. Hi, Ambika Rai.
Hello, ma'am. Good evening.
Good evening. How are you?
I'm fine. How are you, ma'am?
I'm good, thank you. So please, can you introduce yourself and tell us a bit about your day?
Thank you, ma'am. Good evening, all. I am Ambika Rai. I live in Kolkata. I have completed my PhD degree in physics. About my day, thank you. About my day, after completing all my household works, I have added few pages to my book chapter. Then I have actually I prefer singing. My hobby is singing. So today I sing one song. I have practiced actually. I have practiced one song. Then I have I have in this class. Thank you.
Very good. So which news source do you listen to and trust the most? Which one do you trust the most and why?
So for news, there are so many things actually, like television, radios, and newspapers, magazines as available. But I prefer newspaper reading, whether it is online or offline. Actually, in my childhood, I liked both television as well as newspaper. But at present, due to less time availability, I prefer news and newspaper online, as it is very easy to access for me. Through mobile, I can access all these newspapers. Again, there is an advantage of newspaper reading is that it has a space for much more information. Whereas in television, if I am watching a regional news channel, it will be focused too much on the rest. It will not focused. Actually, it will not focused too much about the country. Similarly, if I am watching a national news channel, then it will not focus the rest of the world too much. If again for sports and for other things, I have to watch. I have to switch to the business channel or news channel for sports and business. A newspaper packs in everything. That's why I prefer newspaper.
Okay, and which newspaper is it that you
mostly
prefer?
I'm reading Times of India. Mostly I'm reading Times of India, and the rest is for Google is everything for me.
Okay, and do you feel like
Thank
it's the most trustworthy?
Yeah, Google. I think if I'm interested in a particular thing, then I will search much more. So I will get different newspaper. I am getting the information all about. But
Okay.
Times of India is most preferable, and the rest is Google.
Why do you think that Times of India is the most trustworthy?
Because I'm getting unbiased news in it. I think.
You think it's the most unbiased? Okay.
Yeah.
That's
Thank
very
you.
good. Excellent. Thank you very much.
Thank you so much.
You're welcome. Okay, it's lovely to hear your opinions. I know I push you loads, but it's just because I want to get to the core of it. Okay, so let's go to Sonny. Hi, Sonny.
Hello, ma'am. Good evening.
Good evening. How are you?
I'm fine, ma'am. How are you?
I'm good, thank you. So can you please introduce yourself and tell us a bit about your day?
Yes, ma'am. My name is Soni Haswani. I am 22-year-old. I live in Satna, MP. And if I talk about today's day, it's again a little bit tidy day because too much working load of my student because after a month final exam is there, so I have to also do a work hard and nothing more special in today's day. That's it, ma'am. Thank you.
Okay, so which news source do you trust the most and why?
I prefer newspaper, that is Dainik Bhaskar, and one of the most favorite and trustable news channel is CNBC Awaz. CNBC Awaz because there are so many reasons for why I'm selecting CNBC Awaz, because as we know that first of all, as we know that our union budget 2022 has come today. Our honorable Nirmala Sitaraman ma'am has presented today, and my favorite anchor in CNBC Awas is Harshada and CNBC Gap and Lines and Akhri Saurabh entrepreneur, one of the most promoted face of CNBC Awas. She is, and she says that which stock is best for investment, which stock that we have to buy or sell. She also tells us that what current ratio of our India, and she also tell about the GDP. That GDP is very important, and she is a brilliant anchor in CNBC Awas, and she is one of my favorite anchors.
Okay, very good. Okay, and you feel like she is the one who will tell you the truth?
Yes. She and CNBC Awas, the whole channel is a personally trustable channel for me, because as I told you that it's good for all type of news she shared, and but one of the most important news, that is shares market and stock exchange and trader hotlines, and so many discussion debates are there in the, and it's good. In other news channel we saw they shouting and they start conversation again and again, repeating their topic. But in CNBC hours, they can't do this type of shit.
Okay, fantastic. Thank you very much, Sonny.
Thank you, ma'am.
You're welcome. Okay, next we have Bisman. Hi, Bisman.
Hello, ma'am.
Hi, can you please introduce yourself and tell us a bit about your day?
Good evening, everyone. This is Bisman. I'm from Bhubaneswar. I study in Loyola School. I have turned 13, and my today's day was pleasant. It was relaxing. Today I again didn't have much of my online classes, and yeah, it was a nice day. I enjoyed it. And
Very good, excellent. And can you tell
Thank
me
you.
You're welcome, which source of news do you trust the most and why?
So, in basically, I trust up with newspapers, and if we talking genuine, I I read up newspapers very rare. Um, like due to this COVID only, I started reading a bit because a lot of information is there. You can be like the newspaper. I feel is like the best source of information because it's like very less chance of it to be wrong because it's printed form, and if it's wrong you can say someone, yeah, I read it about. But if you search anything online and if you say someone that I read about it, I read this, I read that, no one would trust you. It will say that you are just saying like that. But newspaper, it's like it's specific, and that newspaper which you read, you can say anyone. I read this type of this newspaper name, and it was written that the curfew is for so much, so many days, and is that. So it's like you can share information with confidence, and I also watched a bit of news on television as well. The same channel is on YouTube too. It's like OTV news. I feel like it's the best news if you want to know anything about it. It's like it's you can get enough information over them, and I feel like it's also a very nice source of information. Like they become very calm enough to be like they are very calm, and it's like I like to watch that channel if I want to know about any news. And basically, if I say which one I would prefer, whether the OTV news or newspaper, I would choose OTV news because newspaper it's it's so long. You feel like wow, it's like very long. Who will read it up? And in OTV news in YouTube, you will get small short videos like current affairs and your lockdown and all. You'll get in small videos. You can skip, or you can in the description box they put up like from what time span your new and current affair is there, at what time spam your sports are gonna be talked, and like that. So I like that way to be present, like the way they present is good, and there's no kind of fight there, like this to be said, this to be said. There's not like this is wrong, that is, they give the pure information with confidence, and the way they present is good.
Okay, so you feel like they must be the most trustworthy then in the way they present. Okay, thank you very much.
Thank
Okay,
you.
next we have Samikia. Hi, Samikia.
Hello, ma'am.
Hello, can you please introduce yourself and move on to today's question, okay? Which is the source of news that you trust the most and why?
Yes, ma'am. Good evening, everyone. My name is Samika Sambardhana. I'm studying in class 7 in St. Vincent Convent School, and I'm staying in India at Odisha, Berhampur. And my hobbies are to drawing, paintings, and drawings. Thank you. So I want to say that I prefer ABP News, and also in our state, the news I prefer is OTV News. These two news I prefer to see.
Okay, and why? Why do you prefer
Because
that? Why do you think they are
ma'am,
trustworthy?
because ma'am, yes, Because ma'am, in the ABP news, there are headlines that's very helpful for my current affairs
Mhm.
that is being given in our exams, and also it helps me to know for the current situation what is going on the world, and in OTV news I can know in our state what is going on, and during the situation also I can know what are the conditions of our state now and what is going on, and if there are election also I can also know about
But
this.
why do you feel that it is the most trustworthy news?
I don't know, but always my father would say these are he would also see these two these two news channels the most, and I because he is seeing I also come along with him to see, so I think it's trustable because my father is bigger than me, he is older than me, so if he is seeing, then I think yes, he should understand this, and he if he is trusting that, so I should also trust.
Okay, very good. Excellent. Thank you very much, Samikya.
Welcome, ma'am.
Okay, next we have Shamali. Hi, Shamali.
Hello, ma'am. Good evening.
Good evening. So can you introduce yourself and tell us which news source do you think is the most trustworthy and why?
Okay, so my name is Sharmili Khatwani. I'm from Prayagraj, Uttar Pradesh, India, and I'm 19. I'm a college-going student. I'm pursuing BCom this year, and my
Mhm.
hobbies are dancing, playing video games, and singing. And for today's topic, I would like to say that newspaper is the best source because sometimes, but I don't read newspaper regularly. I just watch it like the headings and I got the information. But whenever I'm free, I would like to search on Google and recheck it because sometimes it is like error or something. Most of the news are fake, mostly, but the best source is newspaper for me.
Okay. Okay. So you feel like the one you try to keep to the most trustworthy, but you're aware that you watch several things that are fake.
Yes, because
Okay.
sometimes like
Mhm.
whenever I got free, I can check on like you Google it and whenever I feel like. But newspaper I can't carry all the time in
Okay.
24 hours.
And why do you think it's the most trustworthy? The one that you chose to be the most trustworthy. Why do you think it is the most trustworthy?
Because it is like printed, and if it is wrong, the next day it will I got the correct news.
Okay, so you haven't really chosen a trustworthy one. You're just banking on the fact that the next day it will
Yes,
change. Okay.
yes.
So you don't
If
think
it's
there is
if
any news that's properly trustworthy?
yes.
Okay, thank you very much, Shamili.
Thank you, ma'am.
Okay, next we have Ritika. Hi, Ritika.
Hi, ma'am. Good evening.
Good evening. Can you introduce yourself and tell us which news source do you feel is the most trustworthy and why?
Okay, I'm Ritika Agarwal and I'm from Mahendragarh, Haryana, India. Currently, I am pursuing BCom from Banasli Vidyapeeth and I am 19 and my hobbies are dancing and playing badminton. Thank you. Okay, there are many sources like newspaper, different sites on Google, radios, television, magazines, etc. But I most trust on television. There are 100,000 channels like Ask Tak, India TV, 24 TV, ABP News, etc. etc. But I am addicted to see Ask Tak because I love the journalist Sweta Singh. I love her way. So because of reason I love Astak and trust it on because it is a national channel or the headlines they present I like the most. So I am addicted to see Astak. Thank you.
Okay, very good. Thank you very much, Ritika.
Welcome.
Okay, last but not least, we have Harshita. Hi, Harshita.
Hello, Christine. Good evening.
Good evening. So, Harshita, can you please introduce yourself and tell us which news source do you find that is the most trustworthy and why?
Well, my name is Harshita Singh, and I'm a BCom second year student. And based on today's question, well, I don't call myself a news person. Like, I'm not fond of watching news on television, especially. But if I have to select a certain type of criteria for which are my favorite sources for news, I will go for newspaper. Especially, I prefer reading the Times of India and the Hindu because I found the news very relevant, up to date, timely, and plus it also helps me in improving my vocabulary, my communication skills, and also it keeps me updated for what is happening all around the world, but not just in India, but all around the world in specific fields like administration, politics, or sports, or film industry. So I prefer reading newspaper more than watching news on television because I'm not a TV person. And based calculating on my past and current scenario, I don't know, I can't say about the future that in future I'll prefer watching news on television or not. But if sometimes my parents are watching news on television, then I prefer watching the channel Aaj Tak because I found it very relevant and up to date. Plus, I prefer the journalists who are sharing the newses and resources from all around the world on Aaj Tak. So that's the only news channel I prefer watching. And newspaper is my best and the most relevant sources for collecting news and current affairs and the things that are happening around the world for my knowledge and both for my communication skills. Thank you.
Okay, very good, excellent. So thank you guys for sharing which news source you trust the most and which news source you use the most. It's been interesting finding out why you trust them. Some of your reasons were backed up by the fact that, for example, it's the national one, or by the fact of how they presented the news. So it was there was that kind of the way that it's presented, all because it's national. So there were these reasons. Then I had someone say about, well, it's because it's what my dad watches. So you've kind of based your opinion on what someone else has done. So I encourage you to go on and now really go with a fine tooth and comb, and when you look at something, and this might make you very analytical and maybe over analytical to a point, but when you look at something, stop and think if it's trustworthy, think if it's your opinion, or is it coming from an opinion, from someone else's opinion that you've grown up with. We all do it. I'm not saying it's wrong. I'm not saying there's no judgments here. I'm just saying that we do tend to go by what other people say. And sometimes we don't form our own opinion because we just rely on what other people tell us. So I'm just encouraging you here to, whenever you hear something, just stop and think. And think, where is it coming from? Why should I? What are the reasons that I should trust it? Yes, it's presented in a certain way, but all news is, if they want to convince you, they will always present it in a certain way. So think about what is being said, why it's being said, what the story is. Investigate the story. There's usually more than one angle to the story, and forget about what other people influence, how they influence you. Forget about their influences, especially I come from a very much traditional family like yours, so I remember being influenced by my own family members in what to think, in what to believe, but you must to form your own opinion, forget about the influence, just look at it and think. So I encourage you to do that, and thank you very much for joining today, and I look forward to seeing you again tomorrow. Hope you have a good evening, guys.
Thank you.
You.
Bye, ma'am.